The most ratchetest, realest, rawest Bible study this God's green internet. It's your girl, Coach Missy, and we are almost finished with the 48 laws of power. Ow. We on law 47, but I got to check somebody on TikTok, so you can stay around for the show. Let me tell you something, little girl. Let me tell you something. They're the only man. Listen, I want y'all to understand this, because this is how serious I am about my purpose. Not my business, not my brand, but my purpose. I want y'all to understand this. I didn't say I'm serious about my coin. I'm serious about my bag. I'm serious. No, this is how serious I am about my purpose. There is no man alive on God's green earth that's going to stop me from doing what I'm supposed to do. None. There's no man that's going to stop me from logging on when I'm supposed to log on. There's no nothing. I am too responsible. First of all, my time. Now, let's talk about time. I hope y'all come to that Finding Purpose class on the 3rd, because you'll understand. At the rate I'm going, my time is about $500 an hour. You hear me? And I didn't pull that number out the sky and say, this is the number. This is the number I came up with based on the activities that I do. My time is about worth $500 an hour. So when I'm working for an hour, I need to, if I'm not making $500 in that hour, whether it means signing somebody up for a class or sending y'all blasting emails or something like that, I need to be doing something. If I'm not literally clocking in these appointments, I need to be doing something that's going to generate me at least $500 for 60 minutes worth of work somewhere down the line. It all pans out. It all works out in the end. This what I do right here with Midday Manifest is what God told me to do. This ain't even about, I'm doing this so y'all can sign up for classes. I'm doing this because this is part of my journey. So there's no man, no date, no nothing. Even when I get married, nobody that's going to stop me from doing what I want to do. When I don't log on with y'all, it's because I'm tired. I'm human. I give a lot of energy out, right? I have people pulling energy from me 24/7, whether it's asking questions via text message, whether it's doing the phone calls, whatever the case may be. And then I am human. I have my own things that I deal with, right? I have my family, my grandkids, stuff like that. So I have people pulling from me 24/7. So if there's a time, listen, if there's a time that I don't log in, yes, I have juicy stories. Yes, auntie got hoes. Not too much, coach. Not too much. But understand, none of that. When I don't log in, please, 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 none of that is because of a man. Is that I need some rest. Okay? That's what that is. I could never, and I wish some of y'all would have that same tenacity, that same determination when it comes to your purpose. No man, nobody is gonna stop me from my purpose. You hear me? Nobody. Even if my daughter was to call me and say, Zen, I'm gonna let you FaceTime with Zen. If either one of my granddaughters was gonna call me and say, Grandma, and they call me and I'm supposed to go on at 12 o'clock and they call me at 11:59, Grandma gonna have to call you back. Grandma gonna have to call you back, right? Because I'm walking in my purpose. Now, some of y'all rabbit head hoes, I ain't used that in a minute. Baby, I ain't calling nobody a rabbit head hoe in a minute. Some of y'all don't know your purpose. And that's why you let distractions come in like a thief in the night. And it don't have to be a man. It could be anything. It could be lack of confidence. It could be your best friend. It could be your mama who ain't about nothing. That's why you let distractions come in, because you're not walking in your purpose. You might be getting a bag. You might be driving something bad, but that's not your purpose. All right? Okay. So from here on out, if Coach got a story, if Coach got a juicy story, she gonna tell you. And so we can just get the record clear, straight, and full of love. I'm gonna say this to say that. If there was a man over here, any man I deal with, come on, somebody. Any man I deal with, I'll be on here talking to y'all crazy as hell, up here cussing you out, and he'll still be over there watching TV, waiting for me to get done. You understand me? Listen, any man I deal with know that my brand, my business. Now, listen, Any man that I deal with right now, I don't know, my brand, my business, my bag is my first love. And they'll have to fit themselves into that picture. Okay? All right. We good? Let the church say what? Amen. All right. I just had, because it's too many people didn't had that assumption. And I just want to get y'all together real quick. Okay? I would never disregard y'all because I was late. I don't lay up with somebody. Not with $500 an hour on the line. You think I'm about to lay up? That's why I ain't had no date in a while, right? Because I've been getting to it. A lot of y'all need to come to that Find and Purpose class so you can find out what your hourly wage is, not what they gave you at your job. You can find out what your inner hourly wage is, and you'll determine when you spend time with somebody. You hear me? Huh? Nah. My dreams are costly. I can't have Leroy up in my bed with ashy feet, and I'm trying to dream up something. God may give me a vision. Woo! My eyes is watering. I'm not crying, y'all. My eyes is watering. God may give me a vision at night, and I can't have Leroy ashy ass. Let's get to the book. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Midday Manifest. That's what happened when your girl get a little rest. Welcome to Midday Manifest. You sign up for Heaux-o-logy? All right. Midday Manifest, y'all. 48 Laws of Power. We're going to get right to it. We are almost at the end. Tomorrow we will be done. Law 47. I had to get back to the book because, baby, I was going to read people fulfilled. But I'm not going to do that. If y'all got the book, let's go ahead and get into it. I ain't worried about who on here and who not. They can catch the replay or whatever. Let's go get into it, y'all. If y'all got the book, turn to page 14. If you don't, stay tuned because as you see, I'm going to keep you highly entertained. Okay? All right. Listen, it says, do not. How many of y'all, let me ask you a question. How many of you guys have won the race, but yet you still keep on running? Huh? I'm gonna ask that again. How many of you all have run the race, but you still keep running? Huh? See, some of y'all done did some treacherous stuff to get somebody in your life. Yeah, y'all done connived, y'all done schemed, y'all done, went behind somebody's back, took somebody's man. Let's talk about it. And a man really, here's the deal. A man, you really can't take a man. You can't take a person unless you kidnap them and a van is involved. But that's another different type of lie. But some of y'all has lied and got a job. Some of y'all done kept somebody out of something. And when you won, listen. When you won something, why do you keep on running? Then you mess it up. So today's law says, do not go past the mark you aim for in victory. Learn when to stop. It says the moment of victory is often the moments of greatest peril. Okay? Listen, the moment of victory is the one in the... What? Hold on. Hey, where's my moderators at? Let's start blocking people. I don't have time for this. My head hurt and I will lose my today. Listen, the moment of victory is often the moment's greatest pearl. In the heat of victory, arrogance and overconfidence can push you past the goal you have aimed for. And by going too far, you make more enemies than you defeat. Do not allow success to go to your head. Y'all ready? Do not allow success to go to your head. There's no substitute for strategy and careful planning. Set a goal, and when you reach it, stop. Now, when I talk to my business owners, let me ask the business owners, right? When we talk to the business owners, let me say this. How many of y'all make your business plan out when you first start and you know when you're going to sell your business or you know how long you're going to have until you close your business? No, nobody. Let me answer the question. Nobody does that. Nobody sets up to start a new business and says, okay, I'm going to run this business for 10 years. And I'm either going to sell it for $5 million or I'm going to go ahead and close it down after 10 years and start something new. Nobody does that because we often associate the finish line with failure. We often associate with something coming to an end with failure. See, we need to stop associating the end with failure and associate the end with new beginnings. Okay? When you get fired from your job, and I think everybody has been fired from their job. When you get fired from your job, We all like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? You didn't like that job, no way. That's why your ass got fired. You weren't coming in no time. You weren't doing your work. People fire themselves. You didn't like the job in the first place. It's rare that somebody gets fired for nothing, right? But you were unhappy. And then when they fire you, they let you go. You start freaking out because, oh God, what am I going to do? I got kids at home to feed. And instead of looking at that firing as a gift of a new beginning, now you are finally free. That firing kind of pushes you into action to find out what you want to do. You look at it as something fatal and you can't see the beauty in it. And then instead of going to find what you really want to do, you sign up for unemployment. You sign up for unemployment, then you worry about how you're going to listen. Then you figure out how you are going to, go ahead and then how long is unemployment gonna last? And then it's just one worry after another, after another, after another. Instead of saying, thank you. Thank you for firing me. Thank you for letting me go to this job I did not like. Thank you for doing what I did not have the guts to do. Thank you. When that relationship is over, you and Jerome, I'm using all the ghetto names today. You and Jerome been on the outs forever. You and Jerome been on the outs forever. Huh? You and Jerome ain't seen eye to eye in a minute. Huh? And then you find out that Jerome is dealing with somebody else. Okay, you and Jerome ain't had sex in months. And you found out Jerome went out here and got him some little piece of you know what. And now you want to act a fool with the girl. You want to call her phone, ask her questions. You want to act a fool at him. What you need to do is say thank you. What you need to do is say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for taking something off my hands. Thank you for doing what I didn't have the courage to do. Right? Thank you. Thank you for keeping him. I didn't want him to touch me no way. So thank you for providing your services, ma'am. Thank you. Y'all looking at me crazy. What you mean? I ain't gonna say that. You didn't want Jerome no way. Y'all was having problems. Y'all was arguing. You shouldn't want to be with you the way you was acting. Right? So don't get mad at the next person that picked up your problem. Say thank you. Right? Learn when to stop. Okay? Learn when to stop. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into this law. We are on page 412. It says there's nothing more intoxicating than victory and nothing more dangerous. There's nothing more intoxicating than victory and nothing more dangerous. When we start our new book, when we start the psychology of winning next week, you will understand that the people in life are losers. Some people are losers. And I'm not talking about the people who are homeless. I'm not talking about, people that can't do for themselves because they have some type of ailment. I'm talking about people who are scared to win are losers. And there are losers at your job. Your boss might be a loser. The head of the corporation might be a loser, right? They're scared to win, so they stay complacent, right? Because let me tell you something. Winning is more dangerous than losing. See, when you win, people have a higher expectation of you. You hear me? When you start winning, people expect you to keep winning. Do you know what type of pressure that is? Huh? Now, I done went from the Kia. I used to have a Kia Forte. In 2019, I was homeless. 2019, I was homeless. I ain't had no car. 2020, I bought a Kia Forte. I bought a 2013, 20-something Kia Forte. I'll never forget that. I bought like a 2013 or 2015 Kia Forte. Then I went and bought my Jetta, my little Volkswagen. It's newer than the Kia Forte. Now I just bought a Mercedes Benz. If I go back and go buy me a 2013 Kia Forte, y'all gonna be like, wait a minute, what you doing? See, people are watching, and now people are expecting me to do something different. They're like, okay, well, you done went and got the little white cocaine in the Benz. When you going to get the G-Wagon? Now, I might be able to buy another kind of, a foreign car, but it got to be on the same line as the little Benz I drive now. It can't be. I can't go and buy a Honda. I can't go buy a Honda CR-V, right? Because people expect me to keep winning. I said, okay, you went and got this Benz. You got 2 cars now. You got 2 cars. Where's your house at? Where's your house? I told my bestie I wanted to go buy this cream Cadillac Escalade. I just wanted a truck. And she said, why? I said, to do trucky stuff. And when I tell people that I want to buy an Escalade, they say, you live in a loft. You pay rent. Why are you going to buy an Escalade? Now, here's the deal. The cream Escalade I saw was like $10,000. It was like a 20 something, like 2015, something like that. 2016 Escalade. It had high miles. I just want to drive something big sometime, right? And I was going to talk to people down to 8,000 cash, because if you want 10 for it, and you want somebody to finance it, I'm going to talk you down to 8,000. I don't know what was wrong with this Escalade. And maybe it was older than that. It was cute though, right? What's trucky stuff? I don't know. Whatever I want to do with a truck. Right? Now, I can't go out here and buy a house for $8,000 or $10,000, right? And the kind of house that I want to be built, my barndominium, the down payment going to be more than $8,000 or $10,000. But in people's mind, listen, in people's mind, they're saying, I know you're not about to have 3 vehicles and you live in an apartment. I know you're not going to have 3 vehicles and you live in a loft. What are you doing? Right? See, nobody questioned me when I didn't have a car. Nobody questioned me when I went from having no car to buying a Kia. They congratulated me. Right? Now it's like, what? No, I mean, that's just common sense, though. Like, what are you doing with 3 cars? I don't like to drive. No. Here's the deal. I don't like to drive nothing. I don't like to drive, period. So what am I doing with 3 cars? But I'm still, like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it and how I want to do it, because I live a Harley Quinn lifestyle. You remember that. But I'm just giving you all an example that there's nothing more intoxicating than victory and nothing more dangerous, because people expect you to get bigger and bigger and bigger and better. You hear me? All right, y'all. On the middle of page 412, it says, understand, in the realm of power, you might be guided by reason, but let a momentary thrill or an emotional victory influence or guide your moves will prove fatal. Okay, for somebody said you can buy a house with $8,000, not the house I want. I don't want a sheriff's sale, honey bun. No, I'm building a barndominium. I'm not the house I want. No, not me. Not the house. No. I want a 9,000 square foot barndominium somewhere outside of Houston, on the outskirts of Houston. Yeah, I want half of it to be part. Let me tell you something. Listen, I need half of it to be for my work, for all of my where I go live at, all of my green rooms green screen rooms where I go live. I want to park my cars in the middle. I want you to see my G-Wagon. Yeah, I'm getting a small compound. I want to build a 6-unit multi-family complex for my children. I only got 4 of them, but I'm just saying, the 6-unit multi-complex for my children, where they have their own space decorated for how they want, each of their personalities, and they can raise their families there. And then I have 2 extra units just in case we need to help somebody out. So no, I can't buy $8,000 house, because that ain't what I want. Okay, all right. But I think I understand what you're saying. No, I can't do that. No, this is what I'm doing, not manifesting. This is what's gonna happen. Yeah, this is what's gonna happen. Yeah. Okay. Listen, it says, in the realm of power, you must be guided by reason to let a monetary thrill or an emotional victory influence or guide your moves will prove fatal. Okay. When you attain success, step back. When you attain success, step back. Be cautious. When you gain victory, understand the part played by the particular circumstances of a situation and never simply repeat the same actions again and again. I'm going to say this. When you gain victory, understand the part played by the particular circumstances of the situation. We need to understand why and how we win. When you obtain a victory, you need to step back and understand what you did to obtain that victory. You need to step back and write down the stats. How did I do this? How did I get here? Let me rewind this thing. How did I do this? And listen, it says, and never simply repeat the same actions again and again. See, when you write down how you did it, okay? When you write down how you did it, when you're ready to go to the next step, when you're ready to go to the next step, then that's when you are going to go back and tweak. How did I get to 10,000 a month? Let me go back and tweak this and see what I can do better to get to 20,000. Okay, how did I get to 20,000 a month? What have I been doing? Let me tweak this and let me get to 30,000 a month. You understand what I'm saying? Because the same things I did to get 10,000 a month ain't gonna give me 30,000 a month, because if they did, I would have had it. Come on, somebody. Come on. The same things I did to get to 10,000 a month ain't gonna give me 30,000 a month, or else I would have had 30,000. And at some point, a young lady told me, a young lady who came in to do a coaching, she thought it was a reading, it was really a coaching last Sunday. She said, have you ever heard the saying, I might be messing it up and y'all can correct me, y'all always do in the comments. She said, you can make $1,000 by yourself, right? You can make $1,000 by yourself with really no hard work, right? You have to put in a lot of hours. I think she said to make 100,000. Like you got to be dedicated and put in a lot of hours to make 100,000 by yourself, but you need a team of people to make $1 million, right? So I realized that I know how to make 6 figures. I made 6 figures before I even ever started reading for y'all. I made 6 figures selling insurance. I made 6 figures selling cake. I know how to make 6 figures by myself. There's nothing more that I can do. Listen, because some of y'all need to hear this. Some of y'all that want to keep everything to yourself. Some of y'all who are gatekeepers. Some of you all who don't believe in working with a team. And then the reason why your team ain't working is because you're trying to pick the people around you to be in your team. And that's your friends and family. That ain't your team. You don't know how to distinguish. You trying to help everybody come up. The best way you can help somebody come up is you can show them what you did. You don't have to put them on your team if they ain't ready for teamwork. Okay? You can't. I have 4 children. 4 grown children, one with a master's, one working on her master's, 2 of them in college. The other one is a beautiful artist. I would love to employ all my children. I would love to not have to buy another logo from nowhere else because my son draw it up for me. I would love for my daughter to come in, my oldest daughter come in and run my day-to-day. I would love to have Zoe. Zoe wants to do her own thing now, but Zoe was running my email marketing and Zion chop up my videos. But guess what? I can't bring everybody with me if they don't want to go. I'm not going to force your hand. My Zoe said, I want to get my own job. I said, okay. It hurt my heart because I said, why would you go out here and struggle for somebody else when you didn't have to struggle for me? But that's her own decision. So guess what? The only thing I can do, the only person that's on my team out of my 4 kids is my youngest son, Zion. And the other ones want to do their own thing. Ian is a welder. Erin is in school and she's working somewhere doing her 1-2, and Zoe's about to go get her own job and she's going to work for the city in the summertime as well, right? Doing an internship. The best thing I can do for them, I'm not going to fight them to be in my business. I'm just going to show them who their mother is. Huh? I'm going to set an example. I'm going to be an example. If you listen, if you're not going to be great with me, be great where you are. You hear me? Listen, it says this. History is littered with the ruins of victorious empires and the corpses of leaders who could not learn to stop and consolidate their gains. Let's talk about the law. It says no single person in history has occupied a more delicate and precarious position as the king's mistress. Some of y'all need to come in for this one. Let's talk about this. No single person in history has occupied a more delicate and precarious position than the king's mistress. She had no real or legitimate power base to fall back on in times of trouble. She was surrounded by packs of envious courtiers, eagerly anticipating her fall from grace. And finally, since her source of power was usually her physical beauty, most royal mistresses that fall was inevitable and unpleasant. So they say for the mistress, right? For the king, listen, for the king mistress would be women, young women. And once they lost their looks, their beauty, their vigor, he will go on to somebody else. But guess what? We're going to talk about Madame de Pompadour. You hear me? Madame de Pompadour. Listen, y'all, I know we went through our little Marilyn Monroe phase. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was talking about they want to be like Marilyn. Marilyn is one of the most popular mistresses in history, right? Boop, boop, ba-doo. Happy birthday, Mr. President, looking at. But let me tell you something. Madame de Pompadour. All right, let's talk about it. We're on the page, top of page 413. King Louis XV of France began to keep official mistresses early in his days of his reign. Each woman's good fortune rarely lasted more than a few years, so King Louis was keeping his hoes for a couple years. But then came Madame de Pompadour. Okay, she was a middle-class child of 9, and her real name was Jean Passon. Okay, she had been told by a fortune teller that someday she would be the king's favorite. Let me tell you something. When somebody tell you something and you hold on to that, baby, that could take you to the moon. This woman, listen, this woman was a middle-class child of 9. She didn't come from any type of royalty, nothing of that. A middle-class child of 9 named Jean. But and when Jean, listen, but when Jean was a young child, a fortune teller told her someday she would be the king's favorite. Let me tell you something. Even when y'all call in for readings, if I confirm something for you that God has already shown you, I want you to hold on to it. Don't let nobody tell you nothing. I want you to hold on to it because that could take you up over the moon. I want you to hold on to that. If God showed you something and you call me and I ain't never met you from, I don't know you from a can of paint, from a brick of sticks, and I tell you the same thing, I want you to hold on to it. I want you to keep sight of that, huh? Because you own something. Listen, it says Jean believed herself destined to seduce the king, and doing so became her obsession. It said Jean believed herself. She was destined to seduce the king, and so doing so became her obsession. She applied herself to the talents of the king's favorite had to have. So she learned music, dancing, acting, horseback riding, and she excelled in every one of them. You know why? Because she held on to it. Right? It says, as a young woman, she married a man of lower nobility. She used her husband, which gave her entry to the best saloons in Paris. So she knew that she couldn't marry. She couldn't really go after the king. She had to figure out a way to get into the king's face. And I hate to say it, honey, it's somebody watching you and your husband trying to figure that out right now. Come on, somebody. That's if your husband about something. It's somebody, if your husband is about something, if your husband is a good man, a man of good stature, listen, there's somebody that is sitting back watching you and your husband trying to figure out how to get in his face. Huh? Let me tell you something. It says, listen. So by her marrying this man of lower nobility, hold on, it said, okay, as a young woman, she married a man of lower nobility, which gave her entry to the best saloons in Paris. Words quickly spread of her beauty, talent, charm, and intelligence. So she started putting herself in the right positions. Okay, she started putting herself in the right positions. It says Jean became close friends with someone in the king's court and other great minds of the time. Her husband had a chateau in the forest where the king would often go hunting, and she began to spend a lot of time there. Studying his movements like a hawk, she would make sure he would happen to come upon her while she was out walking in her most alluring dress or riding in her splendid coach. Okay, the king began to take note of her, making her gifts of the game he caught in the hunts. Now, in 1744, King Louis' current mistress, which was a duchess or somebody, she died. So the current hoe died. His current mistress had died in 1744. Now, Jean, so people are like, okay, boom, she dead. I'm about to go in. Jean went on the offensive. She placed herself everywhere he would be, wherever their paths would cross, and wherever she could display her many talents, dancing, singing, writing, and so forth. The king finally succumbed to her charms, and in a ceremony at Versailles in September of 1745, the 24-year-old daughter of a middle-class banking agent was officially inaugurated as the king's mistress. Baby, that was a time to be a hoe. They would have a ceremony, baby. Huh? Now, when you become a married man's side piece, he just take you to Baskin Robbins. Huh? He might take you to Papa Do's. But back then... Back then, when you became the king's mistress, they had a ceremony, baby. Listen, so as she officially inaugurated as a king's mistress, she was given her own room in the palace, a room the king could enter at any time via a hidden stairway and a back door. And because some of the other ladies were angry that he had chosen a woman of low origins, he made her a marquise. So because other people was hating on her, he says, you know what? You may not be royalty, but you royalty to me, and I'm going to make you a marquise. Huh? From now on, she will be known as Madame de Pompadour. Okay, so Miss Jean, middle-class Jean, my parents got 9 kids. Jean went from Jean to Madame de Pompadour. Okay? So it says, Madame de Pompadour knew that keeping him under her spell meant keeping him amused. That's why some of y'all be calling me talking about the other woman. Do his baby mama got a spell on him? Did somebody is somebody using black magic on my baby daddy, on my husband? He just can't seem to let loose the XYZ LMNOP. No, she know how to keep them amused. You should try. You should try it. She know how to keep them amused. Okay. It says she organized elaborate hunting parties, mass balls, and whatever else it would take to keep him diverted outside of the bedroom. She became a patron of the arts. Her enemies at the court only grew in number with each new success, but Madame de Pompadour thwarted them in a totally novel way for the king's mistress with extreme politeness. She didn't go toe to toe. She didn't go back and forth with her haters. She was only nice to them. Because if she went back and forth with her haters, that would show a side of her that she didn't want the king to see. Huh? Listen, some of these side pieces be getting y'all worked up. Some of these side pieces be getting y'all worked up. You hear me? Y'all be acting a fool. And they just be like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. They're showing loyalty to your man. They show him loyalty and then say, oh my God, your wife is so crazy. Like, I don't know how she got my number. I just wanted to get off the phone. Baby. No, that's not. The new book is The Psychology of Winning. Go to my link tree, baby, and go click on the Amazon link. Listen. Stop letting these people take you out your hookup. Stop letting these people take you out your hookup. Listen. It says, listen. She won. Listen, she said, people who resented her for her low birth, she won over with charm and grace. Most unusual of all, now this is the kicker, most unusual of all, y'all, she befriended the queen and insisted that Louis XV pay more attention to his wife and treat her more kindly. Even the royal family begrudgingly gave her their support. So she said, I got one. She said, I ain't worried about the haters. I am going to, what? Befriend the queen. The queen know who I am. We had a whole ceremony in 1745. She know who I am. Huh? I'm gonna befriend the queen, and I'm gonna insist that the king treat the queen nicely. Now, once upon a time in a land far, far away, when I might have found myself as a third party, I like to call myself a relationship counselor. I'm a relationship hero. I wasn't a side piece. I was a relationship hero. I always advocated for the man to still treat his wife or his girlfriend with some type. And I really wasn't really talking to married men, but I talked to a guy who had been with his girlfriend since the 7th grade. They weren't married yet, but he had been with the girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? And I advocated that he treat her with some respect. I made him listen. I remember I said, get her something for her birthday, right? Don't try to spend Valentine's Day with me. I know what this is. Do you? Spend Valentine's Day with her. Go all out. Because I don't need her to suspect that you got something else going on. I don't need her tracking your footsteps because I need my money. I need my money. I don't need her leaving you because if you pay child support on 3 kids, then that means you ain't going to have no money for me. So I need you to stay where you at. Happy wife, happy life. Huh? As long as she feels like she has nothing to worry about, she won't care about you going out with your homeboys. She won't care. You know what I'm saying? I made sure he went home at a decent time. Right? But that's because I knew what I was doing. And I knew I didn't want him for myself. He was a cheater. Why would I want him, Jesus? Crazy. All right, moving on. I don't want to get the girls' panties in a bunch. And they be like, so you think that's okay? If you're not married, you single. And if you choose to stay with somebody for 10 years and he don't marry you, you're a fool. Okay, moving on. All right, so listen. It says, even the royal family gave her their support. To crown her glory, the king made her a duchess. Now, in 1751, when we on page 414, in 1751, when Madame de Pompadour was at the height of her power, she experienced her worst crisis. Physically weakened by the responsibility of her position, she found it increasingly difficult to meet the king's demands in bed. Okay, this was usually the point at which the mistress would meet her in, struggling to maintain her position as her beauty faded. But Madame de Pompadour had a strategy. She encouraged the king to set up a kind of a brothel, okay, on the kingdom grounds, where the middle-aged king could have liaisons with the most beautiful young girls in the realm. Now they said, now, Coach, why would she do that? Why would she sit up and allow him to have a brothel, listen, with the most beautiful young girls in the land? Listen, it says Madame de Pompadour knew that her charm and her political acumen had made her indispensable to the king. What she did, is say, what did she have to fear from a 16-year-old who had none of her power and presence? What did it matter if she had lost her position in the bedroom, as long as she remained the most powerful woman in France? To secure that position, she became still closer friends with the queen, and whom she started attending church. Although her enemies at the court conspired to have her toppled from her official position as the king's mistress, the king kept her on, for he needed her calming effect. It was only when her part in the disastrous 7 Years' War drew much criticism on her that she slowly withdrew from public affairs. Madame de Pompadour's health had always been delicate, and she died at the age of 43 in 1764. Her reign as mistress has lasted an unprecedented 20 years. She was regretted by all, for she was kindly and helpful to everyone who approached her. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the interpretation of that. It says, aware of the temporariness of her power, the king's mistress would often go into this kind of frenzy after capturing the king. Now, they say before, aware, so when a woman became the king's mistress, she would lose her mind because she understood that if he picked me as his mistress, she was a good hoe. I hate y'all. If he picked me as his mistress, he gonna pick somebody else. So it says, aware of the temporariness of her power, the king's mistress would often go into a kind of frenzy after capturing the king. She would try to acclimate as much. She would try to, accumulate as much money as possible to protect her from her inevitable fall, and to extend her reign as long as possible. She would be ruthless with her enemies of the court. Her situation, in other words, seemed to demand from her a greed and vindictiveness that would often be her undoing. Madame de Pompadour succeeded where all others had failed because she never pressed her good fortune. She never pressed her good fortune. Instead of bullying the courtiers about her powerful position as a king mistress, she tried to win their support. She never revealed the slightest hint of greed or arrogance. When she could no longer perform her physical duties as mistress, she did not fret at the thought of someone replacing her in bed. She simply applied some strategy. She encouraged the king to take young lovers, knowing that the younger and prettier they were, the less of the threat they posed, since they could not compare to her in charm and sophistication that would soon bore the monarch. She knew what amused this man. She knew what amused him, right? And these young girls might keep his attention for a minute, but they had nothing to talk about, so he would always come back to her. It says, success plays strange tricks on the mind. Come on, y'all. Success plays, what's up, Lindsay? Plays strange tricks on the mind. It makes you feel invulnerable while also making you more hostile and emotional when people challenge your power. Huh? You said you'll be here next week. Can I get a personal reading when I come to Dallas? Yes, I'll let you know what days I got available. I'm going to put that up on the website by Friday. It says it makes you less able to adapt to circumstances. You come to believe your character is more responsible for your success than your strategizing and planning. Like Madame de Pompadour, you need to realize that your moment of triumph is also a moment when you have to rely on cunning and strategy all the more. Consolidating your power base, recognizing the role of luck and circumstance in your success, and remaining vigilant against changes in your good fortune. Again, listen, you need to consolidate your power base. Everybody can't come with you. Consolidate your power base. Okay? Everybody can't come with you. Okay? Recognize the role of luck and circumstance in your success. Recognize it. And remain diligent, okay, against changes in your good fortune. It is the moment of victory when you need to play the courtier's game and pay more attention than ever to the laws of power. Napoleon Bonaparte said the greatest danger occurs at the moment of victory. Huh? When you win, you listen. The moment you win, you will have enemies in your camp. Huh? The moment you win, people will start planning your downfall. You hear me? The moment you win. There is nobody. Listen, let me tell you something. Nobody cares when you climbing your way up to the top. People will pity you. People will bring you lunch. People are like, oh my God, girl, I'm so proud of you. Look at you doing it. Nobody cares when you outside looking like a bum. right? Nobody cares when you outside looking like a bum. Nobody cares when you doing all the hard work. When you up sleepless nights. Nobody cares about that. But the moment you make it, huh? The moment you make it, that's when the people who pitied you, the people who, oh girl, you got this, that's when people will stop talking to you. The moment you make it. And understand, the moment you make it may not be the moment you see yourself making it, but the moment that they see that you're doing better than them, that you are winning. The moment you do better than them, they're like, wait a minute. Hold on now. She getting up there, ain't she? Huh? She doing it, ain't she? Let me wait. Let me take a step back. Huh? I realized something. I remember when I went to Essence in 2016, I had just opened up my cake business in 2015. In 2015, I opened up my cake business, Cake with a Kick, and I made alcohol-infused cake treats, cake pops, cake shots, and cake jars. And I had my friends, all my friends were helping me. You know, a lot of my friends were helping me with my cake business because, you know, I do make a hell of a good cake now. My cake, baby, I look like cake, so my cake be getting it done, right? And my friends would go to local events with me and do stuff, and they were so proud of me. But when I told my friends, I said, listen, I'm going to be at Essence Festival in 2016. I'm going to be a vendor. Who going with me? They tell me, oh, okay, friend. They came. I had a meeting at my house. I said, listen, I'm going to Essence Festival in 2016. I'm going to be a vendor. Who is going to help me? Mind you, I had only been in business for 1 year, not even a whole year when I made this decision. I said, who going to help me? And my friends, they came out. Baby, I had a condo back then. I probably had about 7, 8 people in my condo. 7, 8 people in my condo for that meeting, right? This is my power base for Dallas. 7, 8 people. They like, baby, we coming. We came to your launch. I had a launch. I had a launch party. I came to your launch party. They would take turns helping me at different events. They say, baby, we coming. I said, okay. I said, if I get, y'all sure y'all coming? It's July 4th weekend. I said, I can pay for our accommodations and stuff like that, but it's going to take everything I got money-wise to get ready because I can't rent a kitchen. I don't know where to rent a kitchen in New Orleans. And we not taking no food trailer down there. So we going to have to bake everything up here. I'm going to have to start baking in at least 10 days. So I'm going to have to bake everything within 10 days, freeze it. We going to travel down there like some hobos with all this stuff in the car. And we going to make it do what it do. The booth itself was $2,500. Then we ain't talking about gas to get down to New Orleans. $2,500 for the booth itself. And I was working at the time. And a lot of my money was going into my cake business. And I had kids. $2,500 for the booth. And then if you say 8 people coming, I got to pay for all 8 of y'all. And I got to be able to make this cake up. We got to make all this cake. And I cook with alcohol. And I ain't talking about a teaspoon of alcohol here. Everything had booze in it. Alcohol was the only liquid in my cake and my frosting. So, and I had a lot of alcohol. Okay. Right. So we looking at something that might cost me upwards of $10,000 before I even step foot in Essence, if I'm taking all these people with me. Now, at the time, I had just saw that I could apply to the Essence Festival. And I said, okay, y'all, I'm about to apply. And then my friend said, oh, girl, you got it. I'm going. Let me put the time in off of work, blah, blah, blah. But then when I got the email that said, you know what? Congratulations. We'll see you at Essence 2016. Them 8 people went down to 6. Wait, what happened? Oh, girl, I got to go. Man, my mama, our family reunion. I got to go with my mama to the family reunion. And I couldn't get the time off of work. And I said, oh, okay. But, girl, you got this. And I said, well, yeah, I still got to pay this $2,500 for this booth and do all that, right? Okay. So as I was getting the money up to pay for the $2,500, that 6 went down to 4. I said, okay, well, we can still do it with 4. We can still do it with 4. Me, Zion. I mean, he was going, me, and the 3 of y'all. It's 3 of y'all, me, and then we got Zion. We can still do this. Y'all know how the story go, right? A week before, that 4 went down to 3. That 4 went down to 3 a week before. 3 days before I was supposed to go, it was just me, my friend Danielle, and my son Zion. One of my friends, we were supposed to use her car as well to travel. She backed out. I was too tired to drive that 8 hours to New Orleans by myself with me and Zion in the car because I had been baking nonstop. Now, some of my friends who said they could not go in the beginning because they had children, they would come and help me bake. I was running my house like Nino Brown, like New Jack City. We was baking nonstop. I had put my furniture in storage, and I had freezers all around my house. I had rented deep freezers. It was deep freezers everywhere holding cake, and we was baking around the clock. And because I could not drive the 8 hours, there was no way possible I was going to drive the 8 hours by myself. We had to take one car, my car. I couldn't take me and my friend's car. We took one car. I had $11,000 worth of product, myself, my friend, and my baby in one car. Luckily, the woman I told y'all about at my job, the union rep, the one that was my enemy, and I helped her one day when she was battling her son. She became a good friend of mine. Her and her husband was going to New Orleans. She heard what was going on. They was going to visit family and go to Essence Festival. And she said, why don't you follow us? We have a small truck, and we can put some of that stuff in our truck. We can't put everything, but we can put some of the stuff in our truck, and let's go down there together, right? Because we don't want y'all out here on the road by yourself. So a woman who was my sworn enemy up until about 3 months before Essence had sat back and heard me talk about how my friends, my support group, my power base had started dropping off one by one by one. And she said, we got you. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole Essence story, but let me tell you something. I had just enough money. I had $8 to my name. I had just enough money to fill up the tank to the car and somewhere to stay. I went to Essence. I went to New Orleans with $8 in my pocket. Because, see, that's why can't nobody tell me what God can't do. Nobody knew I think it was $7 or $8 to my name. When they stopped to get something to eat, I did not eat because I used the last of my money to get my son something. I didn't eat. I wanted to feel the hunger in my stomach because it was going to motivate me. I wanted to feel the hunger in my stomach. I wanted to feel the loneliness. I'm not about to cry. Sometimes when I tell the story, I cry. When we got to New Orleans, they said, oh, let's all go get dinner. And I had to tell them, I said, I don't have no money. They said, what you mean you ain't got no money? You always have money. What you mean? I said, I don't have no money. I have nothing. Nothing at all. I said, I want to go to the room and let me just be. Y'all go take my son and make sure he's fed. I told them, I said, I'm going to tell you this. I said, tonight is the last night I will feel hungry. Tonight is the last night. Listen, tonight is the last night that I will feel this type of way. I said tomorrow, I said, I promise you tomorrow I can treat everybody to dinner and buy you anything you want. Just let me lay down. They took my son out to eat. They wanted to bring me something back. I refused it. And without me even knowing, I had started fasting. Let me tell you something. For a woman who went to Essence Festival with less than $10 in her pocket, I came home after 3 days with $11,000. You hear me? For a person who went to Essence Festival with less than $10 in her pocket, I came home with $11,000. You understand me? And the people who couldn't be there for me, I took note of that. I did. Now, let me tell you another thing, too. My cake business, that is the best my cake business ever did. Let me tell you why. The only goal I had was to get to Essence Festival. Even when I started my business, my goal was to get to Essence Festival. I couldn't see nothing past Essence Festival. I knew that if I went to Essence Festival, that would give my business the type of credit it needed. You know what I'm saying? I could put that on my resume. I did Essence Festival as far as doing a vendor, because I don't believe in selling tools and fuse. You better be glad I ain't a drug dealer. I don't believe in selling, tools and fuse. I believe in getting that money, that guap at one time, right? Essence Festival was my finish line. And at that point, I had reached my highest point in my business, and I should have stopped. This whole chapter is about learning when to stop. Essence Festival was my victory. I had not planned past Essence. And that's where I should have stopped. I still had my job. I had used all kind of FMLA and all kind of finagling. But I should have stopped. And I didn't. I didn't. And I tell you, my business never got to that height again because I had planned past that. But I just want to share that with y'all. Listen, y'all, let's talk about the keys of power. I did too much little rambling. We're going to finish this because, baby, we're going to finish this book. Let's talk about the keys of power. Let's all get through this, huh? Listen. It says power has its own rhythms and patterns, okay? Power has its own rhythms and patterns. We're on page 415. Those who succeed at the game are the ones who control the patterns and vary them at will, keeping people off balance while they set the tempo. Listen, power, it gave you chills, friend. Listen, I tried. That's about the first time I told it I ain't cried. Power has its own rhythms and patterns, okay? So in order to succeed, you got to learn how to control the patterns and vary them at will. Remember, we talked about before, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting to get the same results. You have to go with the times. You have to find a pattern at a time and ride that wave, okay? It says the essence of strategy is controlling what comes next. And the elevation of victory can upset your ability to control what comes next in two ways. So this is how a victory can upset you from what comes next. You will try to keep moving in the same direction without stopping to see whether this is still the direction that is best for you. Huh? Let's take for Essence. When I was at Essence Festival, I was approached by real live angel investors. Huh? Somehow, I know how I did. My cake had gotten back to the panel for, what the hell is Zion calling me about? My bad, y'all. Hold on. We gonna wait because Zion, what is he? Hold on, y'all, because Zion if Zion call me one more time, I'm gonna answer it because I don't understand what he keep calling me about. I don't know. So if Zion called one more time, I'm just gonna go ahead and answer it and see what he calling me about. Hopefully, he got enough sense to jump on live to see if I'm on live. I keep on sending him the voicemail. But anyway, so yeah, if he called me back one more time, I'm gonna answer because I keep sending him the voicemail. All right, listen. It says one of the things I didn't do with it says you should keep moving in the same direction without stopping to see whether it's still the direction best for you. So while I was at Essence, the lady who was over food concession told me she brought me a small box. She said, pack up some of your best flavors. I didn't ask her no questions. I said, okay. She said, pack up some of your best flavors. She actually took a box of my cake back to the panel. Oprah was there and Oprah had a panel of celebrities. And she literally she said, give me some spoons and some napkins and pack up some of your best flavors in this box. And the people, the women who were waiting, the panels of celebrities, the business, whoever was on their panel, she took my cake back there to them. I actually had 3 different set of people, Black people with money, come and talk to me at my booth about opening up a cake with a kick, about doing a franchise. Huh? I was so overwhelmed with everything that was going on. I took their information, but I did not take it serious, right? See, again, it says you cannot keep trying to move in the same direction without stopping to see whether this is still a direction that is best for you. At that point in time, my next conversation should have been about how do I franchise this, not going back home and opening up my website and say, hey, y'all, I was at Essence, come in order. No, the next step was, now that I have stepped outside of myself, the next step was opening up franchises, opening up Cake with the Kicks. Giving them the blueprint. But my mind wasn't there, right? My mind wasn't there because I had never planned past Essence, okay? Second, it says success tends to go to your head and make you emotional. Feeling vulnerable, you make aggressive moves that ultimately undo the victory that you have gained. So sometimes success can go to your head and make you emotional, right? And when I say emotional, I don't mean crying. I mean, you think you the king of everything. Sometimes when a person, thank you, friend. Sometimes when a person, they used to winning and they win something, they don't know how to humble themselves, right? Now you feel like you invincible, you unstoppable, and everything you touch is gold. No, especially had you not looked, especially if you did not come out and look and see, how did I make this win? It ain't luck. It's steps that you took, okay? So then you think you're the king of everything, and then you ruin it for yourself, okay? It says the powerful vary their rhythms and patterns, change course, adapt to circumstance, and learn to improvise. Rather than letting their dancing feet impel them forward, they step back and look at where they're going. That's what the powerful do. The powerful just don't keep on running. They step back and look at the race. They look at how long it took them to get to the finish line. They look at the people they was racing with, the competitors. Come on, let me take a sip. We're not doing that. We just keep going. Oh Lord, we had $1,000 day and I'm just going to keep going. We're not doing that. You got to take a step back and think about how you got there. Who was in the race with you? What are other people offering? What could you do better? There is always room for improvement. That's what y'all got to understand. There's always room for improvement. And your opinion ain't the best opinion sometimes. Okay? Listen. It says the powerful steady themselves, give themselves the space to reflect on what has happened, examine the role and circumstance, and look in their success. As they say in riding school, you will have to be able to control yourself before you can control a horse. Luck and circumstance play a role in power. This is inevitable and actually makes the game more interesting. But despite what you may think, good luck is more dangerous than bad luck. You heard what I said? Good luck is more dangerous than bad luck. Bad luck teaches the valuable lessons about... Hold on, y'all. I got to see what Zion wants. Don't go nowhere. 1 second. Zion, are you okay?
Yes, bro. Can you help me get an Uber, bro? Fucking pizza just left me, bro. Like, fucking...
Hold on. Let me take you off the speakerphone. What happened? Okay, so I'm about to send you it. Don't worry about it. And I want you to remember that. Now I'm on live. Hey, I'm about to send you don't worry about it. When I get off live, I'll call you. I'm on live right now. All right. Hold on, y'all. No, ma'am. All right. Now this go to it. We're gonna wait for TikTok to come back up. All right, y'all. We back. Listen, this go to what I was telling y'all when I first logged in today. I said, ain't nobody, no man, gonna make me stop. Now that was my son, and my son called. He gonna be fine. He gonna be okay. He gonna be all right. Ain't nobody, ain't no man. Listen, if I kept sending my son a voicemail, y'all know I ain't gonna be laid up with no man, and that's gonna stop me from going live. So we back. Let's get back into it. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this, and then Zion, he'll be fine. That's one thing he'll do. He'll be okay. All right. Let me tell you something. Even with my children, listen. It's something y'all got to do. I need y'all to change the way y'all think. Even when y'all children get in a bind, as long as they are not hurt physically, emotionally, we can help that. As long as they're not hurt physically or they locked up, when your children get in a bind and you can help them, it's still a blessing. It's still a blessing. There's no sense of me to get my blood pressure up about what he got going on because I can assist. And I'm blessed by that. That was none but a couple clicks. That was nothing but a phone call and a couple boop, boop, boop. There you go. All right. You hear what I'm saying? Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Yeah. So I'm blessed that when my children call and they find themselves in a bind, that I can do what I need to do and get back to business. Come on. All right, y'all, let's get back into it. It says, look, we at the bottom of page 415. Look, and to thank y'all on YouTube. Y'all like YouTube got all that work. YouTube, I had to take Zion off of doggone thing. They talking about we got all the drama. It says luck and circumstance always play a role in power. Okay, so listen, it says this is inevitable and actually makes the game more interesting. But despite what you may think, good luck is more dangerous than bad luck. Bad luck teaches valuable lessons about patience, timing, and the need to be prepared for the worst. Good luck, listen, good luck deludes you into the opposite lesson, making you think your brilliance will carry you through. Your fortune will inevitably turn, and when it does, you will be completely unprepared. So let me tell you something. If you don't take inventory, on how you got to where you're going, listen, when you don't take, if you don't take inventory on how you did what you did, then when you fall down, you won't know how to get back up. I was telling somebody, I said, I deal with mindsets. Now, when I'm trying to date, I'm looking at the mindset of a person. When I'm dating, I'm looking at the mindset of a person. I'm not worried about a man. Listen, being broke is a mindset. Being rich is a mindset. Because I guarantee you, I have been up and down too many times because that's what life be lifing. I have been up more times than I've been down, but I've still been down. I can lose everything tomorrow, but I bet you I'll gain everything back I had, plus some, because I always have a rich mindset. You hear me? Always. I know the blueprint on what I did to get where I had to do. And if I got to go back to the steps and get back to, if I got to go back and get back to step number one, or when I was making $10,000 a month, if I got to go back to that step, then that's what I'll do. But I know what to do. You hear me? Take inventory on how you got to where you were today, just in case you need to go back and use them instructions when you fall down. All right, let's go. Page 416. We almost finished. It says the good luck that elevates you or seals your success brings the moment for you to open your eyes. The wheel of fortune will hurdle you down as easily as up. If you prepare for the fall, it is less likely to ruin you when it happens. I'm going to say this again. If you prepare for the fall, it is less likely to ruin you when it happens. People who have a run of success can catch a kind of fever, and even when they themselves try to stay calm, the people below them often pressure them to go past their mark and into dangerous waters. It's the people rooting for you, the people pumping you up, telling you to go to the next step. If you're not ready for that next step, don't go. Sit down somewhere. Okay? If they want a hero, let them become the hero. Let them become their own damn hero. You ain't got to wear a cape all the time. It says this: you have to have a strategy for dealing with these type of people. Simply preaching moderation will make you look weak and small-minded. Seeming to fail to follow up on victory can lessen your power. Again, taking me for example, right? I had these in-person events set up, and I'm spending my money. I had one event that I did that I broke even. So I'm spending my money to go do these in-person events, to come and meet y'all, because y'all say y'all want to meet me. But tickets ain't selling. And people talking about, oh, just go, trust God. I trust God, and I trust the good vision and the good sense that God gave me. And I see that I need to cut this short. People talking about, oh, you got it. Come on and come to my city. We going to show up and show out. No, y'all not. No, y'all not. I'm the one that's putting up the money for the venue. I'm the one paying for hotel rooms for my team. I'm the one that's paying, buying dinner for them, feeding them, putting gas in a rental car. No. So I had to take a step back. I'm not going to let people pump me up into poverty. Stop letting people pump you up into poverty. No, y'all not. Y'all not going to show up and show out. Y'all granny going to die when I get there. Y'all going to have a family emergency. My dog got hit by a car. Your baby going to be sick. Nah, we ain't doing that. I see y'all another time. Or guess what? If you really want to see me, listen, I guess if you really want to see me, you'll come to Dallas. Or you'll come to, you'll make your way to Atlanta for Manifest 2024. I'm not about to put up all this money going to all these little cities. We're not doing that. All right? Listen, it says the rhythm of power often requires an alteration of force and cunning. Too much force creates a counter reaction. Too much cunning, no matter how cunning it is, becomes predictable. Okay? It says, listen, people, you said, I'm not going to set my appearance fee and just show up. Friend, time I set your appearance fee and just show up. Reese J, what are you talking about? No, because if I set my appearance fee, where I'm going to meet you at? Who buying my ticket? I'm just setting the appearance fee. You know how many cities I done been in and told people I was there doing readings. Every time I ask y'all where y'all at, y'all leave me a comment. Where y'all at? Oh, I'm in New Orleans. Well, guess what? I'm here doing Mardi Gras. Guess how many people reached out to me for a reading in Mardi Gras when I was in New Orleans? Nobody. But if I say right now in these comments and say, oh my God, y'all, where y'all from? I'm from New Orleans. I live in Cleveland. Guess how many people who said they wanted to meet me in Cleveland actually met me in Cleveland? And how many times I've been to Cleveland? I've been to Cleveland 3 times since December. I've been to Cleveland 3 different times since December. You said the organization. What organization, Buki? No, it's not about an organization booking a venue and selling tickets and I show up. That's not how this works. But I thank you for that. No, I don't operate like that. No. If somebody want to book me to come do something, they book me to come do something. I'm not just going to, hey, y'all, I'm here. No, it don't work like that. But I see what you're saying. No, I am the organization. She said, she was like, oh, well, somebody will bring you into town and I'm not doing a walkthrough at the club. I'm not doing a walkthrough at a club. No, I am the organization. I spend the coin and I get all my coin. Okay? All right, let's get back to this. It says, people who go past the mark are often motivated by a desire to please a master by proving their dedication. But an excess of effort exposes you to the risk of making the master suspicious of you. Sometimes y'all do too much. If your goal is involved, is it something at work? Let's just say you got a goal at work, right? And you set a goal at work and you hit that goal. But when you start doing too much, then the person above you start looking at you like, why are you doing too much? You need to back down. Like, right? Again, guess what? Some of y'all set a goal of getting a man. Y'all want a particular man and y'all do everything y'all can to get that man, right? Everything y'all can to get that man. And then once you got them, you still showing out. You're doing too much. Then they become suspicious of your motives. Then they realize you did all this just to get me. This is not really who you are. What are you doing? You're doing too much, right? When a person tell you you're doing too much, I want you to understand that. It says, when you serve a master, it is often wise to measure your victories carefully, letting him get the glory and never taking him uneasy. It is also wise to establish a pattern of strict obedience to earn his trust. This is when you are doing this. This is when you are doing like setting a goal at work, right? All right, let's do page 417. We're going to go ahead and get off of here. It says, another moment when a small success can spoil the chances for a larger one comes if the master or superior grants you a favor. It is a dangerous mistake to ask for more. So if somebody over you grants you a favor that you know you did not deserve, out of the kindness of their heart, stop asking for more. Let it be that. Okay, it says you will seem insecure. Perhaps you feel you did not deserve this favor and have to grab as much as you can when you have the chance, which may not come again. The proper response to accept the favor graciously and withdraw. Okay, any other favors you should earn without having to ask for them. Okay, so this is saying this. So here's the deal. If you ask for a favor and somebody do it for you, let it go. Don't ask for nothing else. When you realize that somebody has a good heart, don't keep going in for more. I got to get all I can because this person got a good heart. So, okay, they helped me get my car fixed. Hey, I'm talking to some of y'all women. Okay. Oh, boy, we just met and he helped me get my car fixed because he know how it was having a single mom and he see me out here with these kids. I'm going to ask him to pay my rent, too, because he is somebody in your corner that's going to be like, oh, girl, he got your car fixed. Y'all ain't never slept together. He just met you, girl. Ask him to pay your rent. Ask him to buy groceries. Ask him to pick man up some shoes. Ask him to do that. You're doing too much. Back. Sit down. Right? Take it for what it's worth. Say thank you. And earn your next favor. Now, you can earn it however you want to do it. But earn your next favor. Listen. It says the moment when you stop. Listen. It says, listen. It says, finally, the moment when you stop has great dramatic import. What comes last sticks in the mind as a kind of exclamation point. There is no better time to stop and walk away than after a victory. Keep going and you risk lessening the effect, even ending up defeated. Always stop with a victory. People ask me right now, Coach, why don't you do stand-up comedy no more? You know why? Because I never wanted to be a Kevin Hart. You know why? Because there are Black women that stand up comedy. It takes them 30 years before they get their own Netflix special. And I ain't got that kind of time. Right? And when I knew that getting on TikTok was more profitable than me going to do a show, whether it was in town or out of town, me getting on TikTok for 2 hours, I make more either just what I was charging to do shows or even more is sitting in the comfort of my own home. So I planned my final year of comedy. I planned my farewell tour, even if people didn't know that's what I was doing. I was planning my farewell tour. I booked as many comedy shows in Dallas as I could. I booked as many comedy shows in Dallas as I could. And even though I did not know exactly what comedy show would be my last, I knew for a fact. I said the comedy show where I have them rolling and crying and dying in stitches, that is it. Not only is that it, I'm gonna walk off the stage. Every comedy show I did in 2021, I made sure I got my money before I went on stage. I did not wait till after the show to get my money, which most promoters have you do. They make sure they got everything from the door, and then they wait to pay you till you know. I got my money beforehand. And I remember the comedy show that I had the most people show up for. I knew when all my friends had showed up to that comedy show and they had brought their friends, that would be my last comedy show. I knew that I was going to be funny as hell. That was my last comedy show. And baby, when I tell you I got up on that stage, I killed the game. People was laughing, crying, dying, all kind of stuff. My friends was falling out laughing. And when my 15 minutes was up, it was up. I had my money. I walked off the stage. I told my homeboy, I said, grab my purse. And I walked out the door. Baby, I led them people out the comedy show like Moses. It was the great exodus. When people saw me leave, they started leaving. The MC said, wait a minute. The host said, hold on, wait. He said, the comedy show ain't over. They said, hell, if she leaving, we leaving. They said the headliner, you still got the headliner. I didn't have to talk to the promoter. Could nobody stop? Listen, people were trying to stop me and get my information. People want to take pictures. I said, if whatever you want to do, we got to do it outside these doors. Because, baby, I am done. I'm done. I had other comedy shows on the books. I politely, and what was with the promoter I politely emailed them and said, hey, I have officially retired. Thank you. I will not be doing your show. Goodbye. Good day. I was done. People was calling me, oh my God, I heard you killed it at that comedy show, Misty. Oh, you need to come do this. I'm done. I'm good. Well, Misty, they want to pay you. I'm done. That was my last hoorah. Had I went back to do comedy after I did that, after I killed it on the stage, walked out, I walked straight off the stage and straight out the door and took people with me. I didn't tell everybody, hey, if you're here to come see me, come see me. That's how impactful I was. Me walking out, not what I did on stage, but me walking out and seeing people grab their stuff and follow me. Baby, we done. I got a bigger purpose in life. This ain't it. We done. And that was it. I've never done a comedy show after that. I don't care who called me, who asked me, I ain't doing it. Huh? That's how you go out on a victory. Okay? Listen, y'all, let's talk about authority. It says at the bottom of page 417, it says, princes and republics should content themselves with victory, for when they aim at more, they generally lose. The use of insulting language toward an enemy arises from the insolence of victory or from the false hope of victory, which latter misleads men as often in their actions as their words. For when the false hope takes possession of the mind, it makes men go beyond the mark and causes them to sacrifice a certain good for a certain better. All right, y'all, let's talk about the reversal of the law. And we're going to go ahead and be out because tomorrow, baby, is the last law. Tomorrow, we will be finishing the 48 laws of power. So let's talk about the reversal. It says, as the reversal, as Machiavelli says, either destroy a man or leave him alone entirely. I'm going to say this again. Either destroy a man or leave him alone entirely. And inflicting half punishment or mild injury will only create an enemy whose bitterness will grow with time or will take revenge. When you beat an enemy, then make your victory complete. Crush him into non-existence. In the moment of victory, you do not restrain yourself from crushing the enemy you have defeated, but rather from needlessly advancing against others. But merciless with your enemy, do not create new enemies by overreaching. I'm going to say this. Do not create new enemies by overreaching. Your caution after victory should never make you hesitate or lose momentum, but rather act as a safeguard against rash action. On the other hand, momentum as a phenomenon is greatly overrated. You create your own success and they follow one up on the other. It is your own doing. Belief in momentum will only make you emotional, less prone to act strategically, and more apt to repeat the same methods. I'm going to say this. Belief in momentum will only make you emotional, less prone to act strategically, and more apt to repeat the same methods. Leave momentum for those who have nothing better to rely on. Baby, and that was the end of Law 47. Listen, I hope y'all gain. First of all, thank y'all for rocking with me. We stayed a little bit over today. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for listening to my stories, and thank y'all for showing up at 3:00. How about that? 3:00 Central Standard Time. I appreciate it. And I'm still coming back tonight. We're still gonna get ratchet and stupid tonight. I'm still coming back tonight, okay? And we're gonna do the wigs since I'm at home. We're gonna do wigs and Uno cards, baby. We're doing wigs and Uno cards tonight. What I'm about to say to y'all. If you have a goal in mind, if everybody watching this has a goal in mind, I want you to plan to the end. I will be back at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And if you're on the West Coast, it'd be 6. I want you to plan to the end. Huh? Plan to the end, okay? That's what I want you to do. Y'all, let's go ahead and manifest. Wigs and Uno cards, baby. Where my Uno cards at? I got my Uno cards up here. Yes, wigs, Uno cards, buzzers. We doing all that tonight. We're going to have a good time because Friday is Heaux-o-logy. So I won't be live Friday night. And I can't promise y'all if I'm coming live this weekend or not. But Friday is Heaux-o-logy. So I won't be live Friday night. So we're going to act the fool tonight. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and manifest. I want you to manifest for the end. Manifest for the end. Ask God or the universe to send you clarity on what the end looks like. Not the end of the world, not the end of your life, but the end of the goal you have set. Because if you can see what the end of this goal is, and I'm talking about going out in the blaze of glory, a victorious end. Listen, if you can realize what a victorious end is, then you can set your eyes on what the next level is, what the next step is, right? Huh? I've told you all. I said this before. This year is the last year you'll be able to book these 10-minute readings with me. We won't be doing that. And I said that at the beginning of this year. And guess what, y'all? We almost at the halfway mark of 2023. Come 2024, if you're not talking to me for 30 minutes, we're not talking. You have to catch me online or I don't know. If we're not talking online, we're not talking. Huh? Yeah. Or the only way you're going to be able to talk to me is through my subscription service. You're not going to be able to book twos and fews with me because I'm going to take more control of my time. I have other businesses that I run. So some people don't believe, it stink or whatever. If you don't have your ticket for Heaux-o-logy yet, I need you to text me, Chris. Text me. If you text me if you don't have your ticket for Heaux-o-logy yet, I'm going to send out a thing. For the people who purchased it online, I'm going to go back and give y'all the tickets. But you will have your information for Heaux-o-logy. You said you don't have it. I don't know what Chris just text me. Listen to what I'm saying. She done, my Lord, I forgot what the hell I was talking about. Just that quick. All I'm saying is this, y'all. I want y'all to plan for the end, okay? Plan for the end. That's it. Okay? I know what the end of my journey in reading looks like. Miss Mary, I got to call Zion first. So then let me see what's going on with my child, and I'll call you. Listen, I'm trying to work with y'all. Let me ask y'all. Let me say y'all something. Y'all got to show me some grace. You hear me? I haven't forgot about y'all. Y'all have to show me some grace. If you want to buy a ticket, go to IamCoachMissy.com. You guys have to show me some grace. I haven't forgot about you. I promise you I haven't. If my cup is empty, I have nothing to give. If my cup is empty, I have nothing to give. Nothing. Huh? And I'm going to take time out for myself. I am. I'm going to take a lot of time. I'm going to take time out for myself. So understand, if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I haven't forgot about you. But you got to stop. Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to show me some grace. Please. Now, my son just called me. Him and his girlfriend got into an argument, and she was driving, and she just put him out the car 30 minutes away from campus. He the only person he really interacts with is her. He's not in his car. He left his truck at school, or I don't know if his truck is at the place getting fixed. So whatever reason, she decided to leave him. Any other person would have cut these lives short. I sent them some money for an Uber, no problem. Any other person would have cut these lives short and be like, you know what? My child is in distress. I'll catch y'all later. But I said, you know what? I said, that's an easy fix. That's an easy fix. Huh? That's an easy fix. Right? He's emotional right now. He got a lot of stuff on his plate. He had finals. He got a lot of stuff going on. And this the who wants to deal with that? That's an easy fix. So I don't deal with that. Don't worry, Sequoia. I'm gonna deal with that. But a lot of people would have got offline right then and there and said, you know what? Live is over. I'll see y'all later. Bye. I'll catch y'all another time. Read the book for yourself. But I stayed on. I sent him what I needed to send him. I told him, get to where you get back to campus, and I will call you when I go off live. And I'll call you when I go off live. Right? So I'm going to say this. I make a lot of sacrifices for other people. But when I need time, I need time. And I'm going to take my time. You hear me? Yeah. Okay? All right. Honey, she did all of us a favor because she was supposed to bring her little tail here with him for 2 weeks before she went now, because I'm about to drop the bomb on him. He really going to get emotional, Carl Thomas, because what she can't do, she can't come here. You can't put my child out the car in nowhere and think you're going to come and stay in my house for 2 weeks. You can't come here. So he wasn't emotional, baby. You're going to call his ass Carl Thomas because he about to get real. I'm emotional and I can't let go. Yeah, she can't come here. So he going to make a decision. Either you're going to rough it out there somewhere with her for 2 weeks or because she can't come here. Yeah. Huh? I know how to stop that real quick. Nah, you can't put my child out somewhere in the sticks and think I'm going to accept you into my home for 2 weeks. Without no money, without no nothing, knowing everything that he's been through within these last couple of days. He's been through some very rough stuff. I ain't just talking about finals. Some very rough stuff. Huh? This is his first love, y'all. It's some very rough stuff. And this is what you do. You can't come here. And that's on that. But anyway, let's go ahead and manifest. Y'all ready? It ain't about don't play with my son, because I'm not one of them mothers. I don't put my son on a pedestal like he my man. You don't play with my kids. It could have been the other way around. It could have been my daughter. You don't play with my kids. You don't do nothing that I wouldn't do to them. Don't play with my kids. It ain't about mama, son. No, I'm not that type of mother. No, I'm never that type of mother. You don't play with my children, period. Now, I don't care if they're grown or not. Don't play with my kids, especially when I know that they love you and then I know how I raise them and they'll do anything for anybody. Don't play with my kids. Huh? All right. Let's go ahead and manifest. I'm going to manifest that girl somewhere else to go until she go back to her parents in Korea. We're going to manifest her somewhere to go for 2 weeks because she can't come here. Y'all ready? Breathe in. Breathe out. Next one. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one. Breathe in and hold it. I need you to see it, believe it, and know it, and release. Now, on the count of 3, I want everybody to manifest me. You ready? 1, 2, 3. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, make sure y'all go and make a donation to the Cash App. The plate, the offering plate is being passed around. Whatever you seem fit would be just fine with me. Understand we do have a Mother's Day raffle going on. You can get raffle tickets on IamCoachMissy.com and buy tickets for whatever classes we got coming up. In the meantime, in between time, thank y'all so much. Facebook, YouTube, thank you for rocking with me. I'll see y'all back later on tonight. Remember, share this live with somebody. It just might change their life.